Hello and welcome to the Residual Royalty Academy. This is the channel where I show you how to go from nothing to at least $1,000 per month by publishing low and no content books on Amazon KDP. But before we get into this video, which is going to be the June 2020 Publishing Income Report, which I'm the pioneer of. I'm the pioneer of these reports, I feel, on YouTube. Before we get into that, make sure to subscribe because over 50% of you viewers who are watching are not actually subscribed. So if one of those is you, then please subscribe, like the video, it really helps out a whole lot. And just a quick note, if you're brand new to KDP, then be sure to check out all the videos on my channel. There's over 120 videos here, I think now, and I also have a free course which puts them into a really simple order, so make sure to sign up for that if that interests you as well. So let's go straight into this video now. We're going to talk about my KDP and my Audible income, and then we're going to talk about all the outgoings as well, which is going to be the ads, the virtual assistants, and the subscription costs as well. But in the words of Drake, what you got to remember is the only outcome is income, okay? So let's take a look now at KDP, and this is going to be book reports. So you can see last month, $5,590.40. That's between June the 1st and June the 30th by those 1,578 books. So if we look at it on a day-by-day basis, I was averaging over 200 really easily for the first kind of 9 or 10 days. You see 215, 198, 271, 304, 318. We've got these nice little ebook royalties coming in from my high content books, which is awesome to see. And then obviously all these print ones are all the low content books. So that's really awesome. We've got some variation in the portfolio. And then you see we came down a bit here. I do think there is some printing difficulties going on at Amazon right now, and I'll show you why that is on the next tab when we look at the Royalties Estimator. You can see yesterday was 96, so we ended pretty well. If I could make 96 a day, it's not so bad. And let's go on to this next tab now. Well, actually, before we do that, let's look at the earnings by book. So you can see that a lot of this, that's almost half of the income of that $5,590 came from one book. So you might think that's quite alarming, or maybe that's just a bit lucky. But I think that's still pretty good, because even without this book, if I never made this book, which is actually my bestseller of all time now, I would still have got maybe $2,600, $2,700 in royalties, which is what I'm hoping for in July, or maybe even $3,000, which would be really awesome. And obviously I'm going to cut my ad spend a bit. I did go a bit crazy on the ad spend in June just to try and get that Father's Day book ranked really well. So let's go on to the Royalties Estimator now. You can see we're again on last month, June the 1 to June the 30, 5536. There is a discrepancy in the Forex rates, but you can see it's all pretty much the same story here. But what I did want to note on here is that you can see this green book. I can't go on the title, otherwise it will show what the book is. The green book is ranked really well right now in the UK, and over the last 3 or 4 days, it's barely representing any royalties. So I definitely think there's some printer issues going on at Amazon. So let me know down in the comments if you are finding the same, if your BSRs are good, but the royalties just aren't really showing as much as they should be. So let's add this number now into here. So let's use the book reports one. I always prefer to use the higher figure, of course, wouldn't you? So that's 5,590. And then we've also got the Audible income. So just for reference, in May, I've just had my Audible income paid to me, and I got $86. And that was an average of around $3.70 per book. So the royalties on Audible are slightly higher than the average royalties on KDP, I'm finding. And so in June, if we've sold 44 units, let's not put it in that column, that might look too confusing, at $3.70, it's going to be somewhere around $162. So let's add this into the income as well for June. And then we've also got the outgoings. Remember, the only outcome is income, but we do have to note these down just for full transparency. So .com, you got 1063 in ads. It's quite high. As I say, the ACOS is pretty bad. I will be working today on cutting these down for the month of July. I was just really spending a lot to try and get the BSRs good for that seasonal book. So let's now go on to the next one. Again, the ACOS pretty bad. This is usually around 20, but you can see that a spend is £877. It does kind of hurt when Amazon take this out your bank account, but it's okay, I guess. And that translates to around 1,050 if you have to change that into US dollars. Virtual assistant. Now, the funny story here is that the virtual assistant that I hired and has been working for me for, I think, around 7 weeks it was. She actually quit at the start of June. I think it was something to do with coronavirus and having to move house or something like that. But she's now back with me. But this does actually mean that my virtual assistant spend was 0 in June. So I guess this helps the net profit figure at the end of the day. And the subscriptions, when you take into account Canva, Creative Fabrica, probably some others that I've forgotten, is around $35. So you can see that brings the net profit to around $3,604, or somewhere in that region, probably 3,600 to 3,610, something like that, depending on the Forex exchange rates, blah, blah, blah. The increase on May is around $1,900. So you can see if I go on the royalty report for May, that was $3,300 on KDP. So take off 400 for the virtual assistant, that puts it to about 2.9, and then take off about 1.2, I think it was, for ads. That will put it to about 1.7. So that's why I've subtracted 1.7, as you can see there. So the increase is around 2,000. And let's talk about the reason for this increase now. So obviously it was the Father's Day book, did super well. As I say, it's my best-selling book ever now on my book reports chart, which is pretty amazing. Super happy with that. And you know, this book, actually, the funny thing about this book is that it took maybe 20 minutes to make. So sometimes you'll never really know which book is going to do the best for you. And you know, I've spent hours and hours on other books and they've never sold. So just don't worry too much, don't overthink, just publish books that you think are high quality and the royalties will come in. And you know, use the tips in the Royalty Accelerator, maybe get yourself a VA, which we'll talk about in a second, and you too can achieve these results. So let's look at the forecast for July. I'm hoping for somewhere around $3,500 in profit. You know, as you can see, even without this book, I would have got around 2.6. And now we're just coming into July and I've now got 2 VAs. So that's 2 times 400 per month. The reason why I've hired 2 is because I know that they're profitable. You know, just one book that my virtual assistant made me has already paid for her salary, so it's definitely profitable to hire one. And if you do want to know how to hire one, then just check out the Royalty Accelerator course. I've got a couple of videos in there that show you exactly how I did it and how to work with the VA and how to manage them, etc. So that's going to be around $800 a month now, but I'm pretty comfortable with that, you know, as I say, because I know it's profitable. So that pretty much covers everything I think for this video. You can see there we've got the net profit around $3,600, which I'm really happy with. So personally, I'll probably be reinvesting almost all of this money back into the publishing business, you know, in high content books, in medium content books, in low content books, in virtual assistant costs, and obviously in ad costs as well. Hopefully this video has been inspirational, motivational to you. Let me know what you would do if you were making $3,600 in net profit in a single month, because I think it's pretty good for an online business. And you know, obviously this number is only going to be increasing as I keep growing my business. So make sure to stick around, make sure to subscribe if you want to see what the future holds. And yeah, other than that, just thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So I'll see you next time.